good, guys?
What's going on?
What's going on, Tamers?
Hi.
Welcome to DigiPod, the digital podcast. I'm your boy Varney, and it's the OG3 back in the studio today.
Yes, sir.
Today we're
Is this a fake mic? Is this a real mic?
No, this is the real mic,
is this
boys. We back.
actual Michael Fumato?
BT16 dropped. Imperial's meta again. You know what?
I'm back, baby. This is the only reason why I'm back, and now I'm gonna be gone forever afterwards.
Yeah, just wait till after BT17 and like Imperial falls off again. Peace.
We won't see him ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, today we're interviewing Michael Formato. He is a Digimon card game player. He is a big Imperial fan. Not as big as Dan Vang. Dan Vang's the biggest of them all. But
it's true.
He is an Imperial fan in his own
Mike's
right.
casual, so we don't even he doesn't count for much.
Pretty casual, yeah. Nothing.
So we're gonna be talking about like the casual aspect of a Digimon player today.
Fuck you guys.
So yeah, we got some. This podcast today doesn't really have too much of a structure in terms of like topics. We're kind of just back to the old days of shooting the shit. The
go
main
with the
thing
flow, see where we go.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
pretty much. The main thing we're gonna be focusing on is like kind of like the current state of the game, so to say. With that, we start off talking about locals. Mike was over in California. So unfortunately, his locals consisted of
he did play locals,
hopping.
right? He played locals at West Virginia.
I went to a new
right. I did forget about that. Yes.
Shout out to my guy Nathan. Was playing some games with him. Cool dude. Well, it wasn't really locals like in the tournament.
It wasn't like a tournament, yeah, right?
Yeah, I just met up with some guys. Played some games with Nathan, real cool dude. I played Imperial, of course. Go to deck. Played some Omnizoo as well. But yeah, it was just like round robin, kind of just playing different decks.
The better deck.
Fun. You take that back right now. I'm actually on this podcast to state my case on why Imperial should be a
tier one
non-contender.
Oh, meta defining, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, yo, what does it do against a Vikemon? I'm just curious. Ace played Digimon your stack. Overflow past turn.
Ace played Digimon your ace.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
he's like, oh damn.
If I get the turn back, it's over for y'all.
Yeah. Facts.
Let that turn get passed back to me, bro. My Davison Ken is gonna drop another Vmon. I'm gonna Digivolve into another Stingmon or Vex V, drop something else, DNA, we're getting back all that memory. It's over for that Vikemon, baby.
Hey, yo, also, all jokes aside, though, those new tamers are kind of cracked. Always being able to play a Digimon for free is kind of crazy.
I didn't like when the cards first got revealed. I was like, yeah, like they're
Didn't
good.
realize.
Like, yeah, I was like, they're good. Like, but then you start playtesting with it, you're like, whoa, these cards are fucking good, bro. Because it used to be like, especially with Imperial, if you got rid of the stack or whatever, it was like you had to take another entire turn to set up and like hope that you live and everything. You get rid of a stack for Imperial now. It's like, okay, like as long as I have like another XV and Sting in my hand, I don't care. Like I don't give a shit, bro. Like I'm just gonna go into a DNA play again. It's probably working better for me now. I'm gonna get another like 2 swings with Imperialdramon and then stun the board again or something. Like it's fucking kind of nuts.
I will always hate Imperial for the sole fact that Imperial, in every time it becomes meta, always just does this dumb shit.
Oh my god, bro.
It always just does this dumb shit. Back in the day, you know, I used to play, Megazoo, Sierra Mist Megazoo. And Imperial was like, oh, cool, you got big bodies. I was like, yeah, I body every other deck. You swing into my security, you die. Imperial was like, yeah, that's cool and all. It'd be a shame if I had jamming. I'm like, oh yeah.
I mean, it would be a shame if you gave them 10 every turn and let them build into Imperial every single time.
I don't even care about that. I literally don't even care about that. That's fine. I'm just like, you'll die to my security. Oh, but wait, you got jamming on like everybody.
The OG Imperialdramon that had jamming on itself and then had the unsuspended variable for the Imperialdramon.
And then you go into the dragon mode, the blue dragon mode, you get the unsuspend, and you can swing.
And then you swing unsuspend.
Oh my goodness. It was like, bro, really? Like, can you stop?
Blitz Omni for game.
Stop.
Yeah.
No, not yet. Not was that?
Well,
that?
BT5,
I guess that kind of
BT5.
was. Yeah.
BT5,
Yeah. So that was annoying. Okay, whatever. We finally like Imperial drops off. Cool. All right. Now we head into starter deck, whatever it was.
BTA.
And then BT8.
Wait, I know the full combo. I know the full combo still. I got it. I got you.
Lay the combo.
I got you. Raise XVmon, swing with XVmon jamming, play Stingmon, keep turn, DNA, go to Pyojimon, bottom deck at 6k or lower, swing, draw, jamming, unsuspend, swing, draw again, go into Imperial Dragon mode, put the two bodies out and be like, can you do this for it? No, I win. Let's go to game 2.
You
forgot the key pieces. You forgot that there's you get the draw off the demi-V when you swing the
That's what I just said.
the XV.
Oh, with the XV,
and then you get the reset of the demi-V draw, and then
that's what I meant with the draw again. Yeah,
you get the 2 sweet draws off that Stingmon.
With the Stingmon.
Hey, you can't forget the spicy play. You only swing Pyojimon once, you unsuspend, and then you use HPD to go into Dragon mode. Sure, it's suspended, but that's perfectly fine because you spit out 2 bodies, and then you DNA to a new Pyojimon that has 2 more attacks to swing at your security. Then you end on another Dragon mode to spit out 2 more bodies.
That was the god hand when you had the HPD. I know. It's happened to me too.
Many a times. Those were times that, people
so
complain
crazy.
about
Who did you guys play
Dexmon.
that was playing Imperial that much? That's so weird.
I know,
so
right?
Crazy. That's so it's nuts.
It's like I played the deck or something.
Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know who was playing it that often that you guys could recite all that.
Let me tell you, people
God.
wished for, they're like, oh, Dexmon needs to be banned, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. I wish Dexmon was a card back then, or even Crimson Blaze. So that I could stop that dumbass play.
I will actually never forget the first store champs we did. Like, it was right when BT9 dropped. I'll never forget. I was like, I'm gonna play Imperial. Was it whatever? I was like, I'm gonna play Imperial. I was like, I'm gonna play Imperial. I'm like, I can do good. I don't care if it's BT9. Like, I like my chances here with it still. I got dexed like 2 games in a row. I was like, this is a mistake.
He said there's no chance in hell.
I was like, this was a mistake, bro.
Dexmon, man. Dexmon.
Yeah.
And now we come into a format where Imperial is literally like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come up jamming, swing at security, play this Stingmon, pass turn, but it's okay. I've got end of turn DNA. I'll go into Pyojimon. I'm gonna keep 2 memory from both my Stingmon and my XV, but then I also have Davis and Ken to give me another memory when I DNA Digivolve. And then my Pyojimon is going to like strip your stores, suspend your bodies, and then I'm gonna swing on suspend swing. Then I'm gonna go into Dragon mode and tell you that if you use your mental training, you're just gonna get absolutely butt fucked. And then GG. And I'm just like, yeah. I still hate you, Imperial.
Yeah, it's so much better now. It's crazy how that works.
Yeah, I really like how versatile you could build a deck now. Back then, it was very like linear, like 40 cards was guaranteed basically. But now with all the new Wormmons, all the new Vmons, there's so many XV and Stingmons. You go like different routes, and plus the new armors can definitely make it a little different as well too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely still messing with builds for my deck, but having a fucking blast, honestly. It's just the BT12 cards, like they were like okay in BT12. I was like, yeah, these are like meh. Like they weren't bad, but I was like still leaning towards the older, like the old starter deck cards, like EX1 XVs then. But because of the Davis and Ken now, those BT12 like Stingmon and XV are like the most insane things in the world, bro. You gain 3 memory off of the DNA now.
Yeah.
If you have like just like the XV or Stingmon already in raising, and then you raise, and then you play the let's say you play the Vmon, the promo Vmon that gains a memory or reduces memory cost by 1 when you Digivolve or whatever. If you have the Davis on the field and then a Davis Ken, you literally go to 5 memory after your DNA play. That's like insane. You don't even need Hammer Spark anymore. This is the first time in my life I've cut Hammer Spark from Imperial. You know how fucking nuts that is? You just don't need the card anymore. It doesn't matter. It's
right, because you got Hammer Sparks on the card, Yeah,
it's nice.
Dumb as hell.
If I ever see you come back to play in our locals, I'm gonna bring out a special deck just for you. just for you, Mikey. I just want you to know that. It's going to feature a card called Metallicdramon, and it's going to say, yeah, buddy, go ahead. Keep doing your thing. I'm just going to keep stunning you. Make sure you can't do your stupid ass DNA Digivolves. So,
that's mean.
Imperial. I do. There is a lot of decks that I dislike. Imperial is one of my all-time hated decks, just because in terms of like, it's like my deck nemesis, so to say. Dan, what would be your nemesis if you had a deck?
Bricking.
Yeah. You're not wrong on that part. Probably Alpha or Melga.
No, not
all
Alpha.
Time.
It's Melga. It's Melga.
All time.
Don't lie.
All
it's
time
Melga.
is one of those two.
It's Melga, because you hate it when they see that promo one of post restriction.
It's terrible. Terrible.
Like it's worse than Alpha seeing the Doru Gray.
Imagine getting tied against someone who plays Melga slow. What a world we live in.
This man. That's funny as hell.
Mike, what's your nemesis deck?
Round one of locals. Probably. go X1 every locals. Probably. That's my nemesis.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
Hey, you can say minus third round of every tournament. That's the make or break moment for me.
Probably, honestly, like security control. I just hate that deck. It's because unless I'm like, for a while I was playing decks that I couldn't do anything in security control about, and then I was getting so mad about security control, I started playing like War Grey with DK just so I could deal with security control. But now I don't play it anymore, so now I'm just like I play decks that like specifically lose to security control. I feel like at this point in my life.
Yeah, Imperial. It's a tough battle.
That's a hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could kind of like semi board storm, so it's not like as bad. I feel like. And then since nowadays, especially with partition, especially with partition nowadays, so you can kind of like save yourself in today's game.
Yeah, that's definitely a really good thing with not just for Imperial, but like every deck that can like utilize partition. Like it's not a protection effect, but it is a mechanic that's like here's like some fallback prevention to like your plays kind of thing, like, which has always been my struggle with DNA decks like Examon. That's why I'll never pick up Examon until we get support, because during BT12 that deck was great. Luck. You could I know you could play it and like sure, like a Grand Old Soul sucks, getting bottom deck sucks, but generally it was hard for them to deal with your board and they could only deal with one of your two boss monsters. And now it's easy enough to deal with both of your boss monsters that when you get left with nothing on board after dropping, your Groundramon for 7, and then you're like, cool, force you to attack, and they're like, all right, cool, this other Digimon though that I didn't attack with, it's gonna fuck your life up. It's like, oh yeah, thanks.
We got Dragon Link support before you getting more Examon support.
No, that's technically wrong. There's a promo Dracomon that popped up.
Promo Dracomon, that's true. That's
sure. Yes.
Look. At least they didn't get a new Hina, so that should make you feel better.
I know
which is crazy.
An actual travesty.
That's nuts.
Well, I think because they were going by Liberated styles in the novel or the comic. I think it was novel, Metallic and Volcano or whatever his name is,
Volcanic.
What's a Volcanic? Yeah, they're AI tamers, so like they don't mean jack shit. So I guess that's why they didn't go Hina.
I don't know. They've done weirder things in the past.
Travesty.
But just what I was saying about DNA decks, like it's nice
irrelevant.
that like
she was
all
from
of these
Dragon Link's mobile game, irrelevant. The Digimon Link's game.
All of the BT16 DNA decks, like them having partition is really nice, regardless of whether they're good or not. It's nice that they have partition because it's a good way to say, all right, cool, you dealt with the stack, but I have a payout for what is essentially playing a bricky deck. Because Mike, am I correct to say that Imperial still suffers from bricky problems?
No, that deck always finds its pieces. I've never. What do you mean? It has it's so
So
good.
much search, right?
Yeah, I think it's the same. It's always been. I mean, it's
got a higher power
So many more
ceiling?
searchers now is the thing, though.
Right.
Like I'm playing. So I'm playing
Probably 8 searchers minimum.
Well, yeah, eight searchers, but because of the Davis and Ken lets you keep replaying your searcher if you fucking keep whiffing and that somehow stays alive. And then also I'm playing 2 of the promo Wormons that search your dual colored cards. It's been working okay. Plus the old Davis, you still play that, so like that's always clutch. But yeah, I mean, if you will find your cards because that deck does draw a lot. The issue is how fast can you find them?
Yeah.
Like so that's where the deck is at now, because obviously that's a fast deck, but also there's other fast decks here, right? You know, it's not fucking vaccine armor can go into like a Magna X on turn 2. So like how fast can you find your pieces before you're just stalled out of the game essentially?
Yeah, I beat Imperial a couple times over the weekend playing Galaxy, and it felt really nice. What didn't feel nice is when they didn't brick, and it essentially was like, hey, remember that board that you established on your turn 2? Yeah, well, that board is gone, and I have game next turn.
Yeah, I mean, on just the new Imperialdramon is like honestly one of the best super rares. It's so good. Like,
There's a reason it's
so
$20.
It's that card's actually just crazy. Like,
For sure.
it's just so good. I mean, for those of you that don't know what it does, when you Digivolve, you suspend all of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer Digivolution cards as this Digimon. So typically you have 5 Digivolution sources on that Imperialdramon already when you do that. So you're stunning a Mega. But also Davis and Ken is going to rip 3 sources off of something. So you're
so annoying.
Yeah. So then if you're DNA Digivolving, none of their Digimon none of the Digimon can unsuspend. So if you suspend their entire board, they can't unsuspend. So if you do that with your, like, you do your Imperialdramon play, you end on a dragon mode, like the new dragon mode. There's like one, you can ace them always, but BT12 fighter mode's insane. BT12 fighter mode is going to bottom deck the entire board if they try and Digivolve by like using any ability. The whole board's getting bottom decked because it's all suspended and stunned. It's like stupid. You can do dumb stuff.
Yeah.
I also like that it's so. I mean, it was like a combo deck before, but like there's so many different lines of play you can do with it now, and it's like really fun to mess around with and see like weird results you can get with.
Well,
I'm still
it was
running,
one combo
like,
back in the day.
Yeah, for bad people, there was one combo, bro. It was a helmet deck for the bad people, bro. All right. If you were good with the deck, there was multiple things you could do.
Oh,
It all depended on your hand, bro. I could pull off some stupid stuff.
Sometimes.
He said sometimes.
Oh,
Also,
right.
Giga Death is actually a card that matters now because of the new Imperialdramon.
Yeah.
Like, Giga Death is actually just a decent
Giga
card
Death
at this point.
Giga Death is a much better card, which, you know, quick derail before Dan and I talk about our locals. Something we'll talk about a little bit later. Adrian in the past mentioned one of our topics was like why option cards aren't relevant, or like how to make option cards more relevant or better in today's game. And this was done before the reveals of BT17. And I think we had talked about the time at that time, it was probably like the release of BT14. So we talked about stuff like DCD bomb, traded options that can be like searched and that are like low cost value that like justify playing and whatnot. But you know, in building my Magnamon deck and also just looking at BT17, the options that have come out, as well as just decks in general, I feel like we've already gone through a little bit of an option renaissance, because options are now so much more useful because they're not just pack filler in terms of being, sure, we do still get some, but now every option isn't just, you know, deletion in chocolate flavor A and chocolate flavor B. Now they're actually, some of them, it's chocolate, you know, I like chocolate. They're actually cards that do something. Not all of them, of course. You're going to always have filler, but there are so many more option cards you can look at now and be like, oh yeah, that's certainly something I can use. Well, we'll touch on that a little bit later. in terms of locals for Dan and I, so Evo Cup was this last weekend. If you guys are watching this, you have probably already seen my Magnamon deck profile. If you have not seen my Magnamon deck profile, then you should go check it out. But I did end up winning the Evo Cup at the Gamer's Edge in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, with none other than the deck that I have for some reason been playing for the last like month. So that's that. I'm not going to talk too much more about it because I don't even remember. All I know is that like I played against Dan and Gino, which was Tyrant and what's it called? Mirage. And Mirage was a sketchy ass matchup because PT13 Mock Galgamon. That's a card that just kind of says I win the game if they have it all. So it's like a race to see pieces kind of. Against Tyrant, it's like I got to make sure that you're not bigger than I am on your turn. And then against I don't even remember. Oh, fucking Secon. Let me tell you something. I said this on the video and I'll say it again. Immunity is, I know a lot of people have things to say about Magnamon X, but it is the best feeling in the world when you have immunity and you mind link your shoe, you drop that Vmon and you say, all right, 2 checks jamming with immunity to whatever the fuck pops out of your security. And they hit some shit like a chaos deck and you're like, okay, restand. Well, not restand because you would have already gotten it from getting the immunity. But you're just like, all right, cool. No, that doesn't affect me. And then it goes to their turn and they're like, how do I deal with this, Magna X? And you're just like, you don't, bitch. Pass the turn, bitch. Let me wreck that security, bitch.
Play a blocker and hope that they don't have a way to get rid of the security next turn.
No, you dropped the Venus spawn on me.
You dropped the
especially
what?
in a
Venus spawn on me.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter if you're just dropping it. But like, especially in the like,
Digivolve, but
oh, okay, he did Digivolve into a Magna. Okay,
yeah.
Like I feel like in today's like the style Secon, like Peter's style Secon, right? I think that would get straight bodied by Magna X all day, every day. When you're not trying to win, you're just trying to like let them lose. All right, cool. I'll just keep swinging to security. It doesn't matter what you do. I'm gonna have immunity. All right, before I lost them the win Digivolve immunity, but I'll just blind array myself, and I'll do more checks over. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, you
I feel
can't.
like Magna X is probably like the crack.
No, you can't do it because when Venusmon affects your when she gives that sec minus one.
I wasn't talking about Venusmon. I was talking about in general Secon. Like, I feel like you have to like change the style deck into a focused Venusmon Secon style probably.
You know what else was funny?
4 Venusmon and like 4 some other nonsense or whatever.
Yeah. He dropped like Magnamon. It lived because I was like, I'm not going to bother with this thing because it's just not worth it for me to get rid of it right now. I don't really want to bounce it back to your hand. He Digivolved into Seraphimon and then he went to a Shadow Seraphimon and I was like, that's cute. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
At some points, like obviously I couldn't proc my own immunity. So I was like, all right, I mean, I'll just take the swing at security. Whatever happens, happens. Because I have other things I can do in hand. I can go into another Magna X from hand.
So what procs first? The Magna X or Shadow Seraphi Digivolve? I
proc first.
Ah, okay.
Because
as long as it's not like a kill option. As long as it's not a kill option.
Yes. So here's how it goes. Magna X swings at security. Security is revealed. All right, a card is removed from security. So Magna X and Black Seraphi trigger at the same time, but I am turn player, so I have the priority on activating my effects first. It's not a kill option, so no security effects activate, so I resolve, I'm unaffected, and I just say, hey, Black Seraphi, good looks there, buddy. Fuck you. So great.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I'm just like, this is so ignorant. And I'm all here for this shit. Oh my goodness. Hey, relax over there, young buck.
I'm on the band Magna X train. No, I'm not actually on that train, but not yet at least.
Not yet. But against Secon, that was like, it was just so gratifying. I was like, wow. Like I had to think still. I definitely had to think, but like, I was just like, all right, well, can I proc immunity? Yes. No. Okay. Well, all right. We'll see what happens. So that was funny. He was literally like, he was playing against you, Dan. He was like, oh, this is what Tyrant does. I just want to be ignorant. I don't want to think. I don't want to whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to, beat the deck. And if I can out it by options, then so be it. Because otherwise he was going to play Blue Flare. And I was like, first of all, you're not a security control player. Second of all, do you know what you're about to play against tonight? No? Let me introduce you to the meta, young buck.
I feel so. War Graves are only hope.
That it was so funny. Tyrant was like straight dominant on poor Blue Flare. Like Blue Flare did nothing to it. It was so wild.
What the fuck is Blue Flare supposed to do to that?
It didn't even matter like if I was boosted or not. I was like, all right, cool. I got two ways to redirect attacks. What are you gonna do? No, great. Oh, that's Q. Swing, redirect. You could play another one? Great. So what if you can stun all my stuff? He's immune, so I'll force a suspension later. Don't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just dumb. I was like, all right. And then the one game, like, I had Shivama on board with it. His whole hand was options, basically. He was just like, I can't do nothing. I was like, GG.
Yeah, that was the game. He had the 4 blazing memory boosted hands.
Yes, he had 4 blazing. I think he had Sora in hand 2 or something like that. I was like, all right, Shivama, you ain't doing nothing. Oh my god, that was wild.
It's so funny, bro. It's so funny. And I'm like, yeah, this is the era we're in. I truly believe BT16 is the new BT9. Well, not new BT9, but like it's like that kind of set for the game. But we'll see, like, once we head into the 2 tournaments that we have for the entirety of the month of fucking June.
Which is crazy. I feel like BT16 is actually like a cool meta, but we'll see. BT15 was a good meta, but I feel like,
agree.
I don't know. BT16 just feels spicy. I don't know if it's because it's new.
It's just because you have Imperial. It's just because you have Imperial.
Yeah, it's because I have Imperial. You're right. Also, my other favorite deck I've been playing got good support, which is Dark Master's OmniZ, which I know is one of your favorite decks, Dan. So like, I'm eating good this set, bro. Like, I'm having a good time, bro.
So Dan, locals for you, how was it?
Unfortunately, got 3rd place because of a tie. Anyways, round 1, I played against. I don't know what I played against round 1. Oh,
see, I didn't remember my round 1, and I was like, I'm not even going to try to sit here and remember.
No,
you
I remember.
Your round 1, Barney.
Oh, duh.
I played against Fenrir, and Tyrant says, you can't blow me up. You can't unsuspend. I'm too big. You're going to swing into a Tyrant, basically. And you don't even need like the Shivamon combo in that matchup, really, because like what options are you really worried about? Which is not much.
Stop them from searching.
Sure, you stop them searching, which that happened actually like one time, but like it wasn't enough where I cared. So I was just playing Grand Quagga Ace mostly and popping his AGs or Analog Youth. That was more relevant than Shiva in that matchup. And then at one point I was just her Cobbletarian and just, all right, cool. You got that Digimon? I'm sorry. I'm gonna start my main face, suspended. Piercing, keep swinging over and stuff. So it wasn't too bad. Round 2, I played against what did I play against? Oh, game 1 again, and yeah, Hercules Cobbletarian obliterated Gamamon every chance. And then I didn't see Tyrant at all until the end of game 2, and I board wiped them with it. So like I went Tyrant effect, played it might have been I think it was Grand Quagga at that point. Effect at end of turn of Tyrants will suspend a bug to kill bottom deck something with the same DP or lower, and then Modimon end of turn you can attack into Digimon. So I like board cleared his board, and that was GG at that point. And that person raged a lot for that one because he was mad that he could not kill Tyrant at all or Herc. specifically her because that's the only one he was seeing. I was like, yeah, he's unaffected. Retaliation. He was like, oh, I have retaliation. I was like, I'm sorry, buddy. Retaliation is an effect. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's always funny? Somebody raging about not being able to do something when they're doing their own ignorant ass shit. Like, yeah, right. I know he plays Mega Gargo Ace in that deck. And playing Mega Gargo Ace in that deck is being ignorant as shit. Because that card literally says you can't Digivolve.
Yeah, you can't play game.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I'm so glad I only play fair decks.
Yeah, totally.
Fair, clean, OTK.
But the funniest part, I don't know why he would like think that like he was gonna ace play me and that would work. And so he was like, all right, I'm gonna go blast Digivolve Series Ace. I was like, I don't care, I'm 14k and you can't kill it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just so funny. But anyways, round 3 happened. That was I told you, round 3s is always usually the spot that things go well or bad for me. Played against Vardy, so played against Magnus. First time for the matchup for both of us, right? Because that was the first time you played Tyrant with Magna, I believe, right?
Everything in BT16 is new to me, which is what I enjoy about new metas. Just having everything being new and like pulling it all in.
Mm-hmm. Trying to understand how to like deal with the Magnamon X was interesting. It took me like sometimes a minute or so to like, all right, this is what I gotta do to like survive or whatever. Unfortunately, I did not have like metal-like Cobbletariamon, I think, at one point. That was like super important, I think that's more important than Mega Cobbletary in certain situations in that matchup, because you want the redirect if you don't have Izzy on board to like stay safe from Magna from happening, but it doesn't matter sometimes though. Like, it's just a weird like thing that you just gotta like play correctly. So like so he like completely annihilated me game 1. I felt like round 1 because I don't think I played well into it, and then I did the Shiva combo and he just had the answer immediate, so like that was GG. He's out here playing Trident Arm. This man's playing every single colored option possible to ruin people's days.
Fuck
and
this
then
guy,
round
bro.
2. Round 2.
What was this guy's name again, bro? What's this guy's name, bro?
Varney. Yeah, Varney Yearwood.
This guy's a piece of shit, whoever that guy is, bro. What a scumbag.
Man got Trident Arm, what's it called? Judgment, Heaven's Judgment, Blinding Ray. I think he's still playing Full Moon Blaster. You know what I'm saying? He's playing like every kill option out here. Oh my god. And then game 2, I think I played that one way better. Also saw better cards during when I needed them. Shivamon stuck around longer too, so that also like stalled. Like it feels like it becomes a stall match.
Shivamon was who sees what. Such good value for you.
Yeah.
And that one, because I couldn't see starter deck Magna in time.
And then I had he misplayed. I don't remember what it was. I think it was because he didn't realize Izzy popped out and he tried swinging with Magna. Is that what it was, right? I don't know if that necessarily like would have changed anything, but I don't know. What did it? Okay,
it would have. I had game because I swung out everything on board, and then I used Awakening to go into my BT8 Magnamon to unsuspend to take the last swing, but I forgot that the Izzy lets you redirect, so you redirected into what's his name, Tyrant. And I was like, ooh, and I didn't have a Magna X to follow up with it on that turn, and I don't think I had the yellow source after that. Got Armor Purse or something, because you were basically able to clear my board, kinda. I don't know if you cleared the entire thing, but I definitely think you took care of like a lot of the board.
Yeah, for sure. And then I had the dumbest mistake because I forgot, because I've been seeing Herc so much throughout the tournament that I forgot that Tyrant doesn't have piercing on body. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna swing over a Magnamon. I got Alliance because I was running the bunny package because I didn't have all the cards I needed. So I go Alliance, swing over, and I was like, what did I just do? I don't have piercing. And then that was just it, because I swung over the BT13 Magna, right? That lets you play the Vmon. So I swing into security after was a Grand Kawaga, 2 checks, The last check was a fucking Magnamon, and then that's what that was it basically because it took out something. It was Grand Quagga something. I took something out.
I don't remember. It wasn't anything for overflow, but
I had
it
like
took
a decent
something
board
out.
It was Tyrant and I think Grand Quagga, and then it had like a Cobbletary, and I hard played a Mega Cobbletary Ace, I think it was, just to like boost things up to make sure you wasn't like too strong. I mean, not strong enough to like attack, but like also I aced too many times over one stack because I remember going to Ace Mega Cobbletary to stop one play, and then I went into a Grand Quagga on the. I went Grand Quagga on the wrong stack. I went Grand Quagga on the wrong stack. And I was just like, all right, this is what happened. And he went fucking into Magna. I was like, oh my God, fuck.
Mike, this guy dropped a Mega Kabutery Ace to buff Tyrant up to 17k, and then he fucking Grand Quagga aced over the Mega Kabu Ace, and I was like,
just because like I needed to do it, I needed to be done. But like I had another stack.
Play in the deck.
I had another stack where like that wouldn't have been too bad. That was the issue. I think it wasn't like that.
I can't tell you how many times during playtesting, like with like Imperial recently, that I've done stupid shit like that, where I'm like, I see like the jamming XP in one of my hand, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just play that and get a free jamming swing, and then I'm like, I'm so stupid, bro. I could have kept turn if I just used the other like XP or whatever. Like, why did I keep fucking doing this to myself, bro? I have to unlearn these bad habits. God damn it.
But the killer was like,
next locals you got him, bro. Don't even sweat.
Because if I don't swing, if I swung it to the security, Magna doesn't activate, or it'll activate the Digivolve, but it won't activate the Digi. No, it will activate the Digivolve, but it won't Digivolve because he wouldn't have had a Vmon on board because I attacked into the BT13 one. That was what really like I was like that was it, and I swing for game after that. I was like overly thinking it, I think, or something like that, and then like. Again, for some reason I thought I had piercing on it, and I was like effed up in the head. And then round 4 Melga, which ended in a tie because man, it takes 5 minutes for a goddamn turn for no reason. It's Melga, it's not hard. Anyways, got third place.
I wish I could say it was chronic. A case of like I wish I could say it was like, oh yeah, like he's purposely doing it, but we all know.
Bro, there's a lot of plays and to do with that deck, you know? A lot of...
And like, I get it was like probably the first time he played against Tyrant, and like Tyrant is like, oh.
It's a good mid-range deck, bro. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, totally. And it had a small misplay too, but like, it wouldn't have mattered if like we had time, because I know for a fact game 3 I would have just won it. He goes, I should alliance with... No, because it was we could have probably played it. I probably could have won within a time, but like we wasn't sure how long Darian's Secon game was going to go, so that was a thing. So I was like, whatever, we just go for the draw and then call it a day. So annoying.
I'm so glad I smacked up Darian with that dumbass Secon deck, bro. That shit was the highlight of my night. I was like, fuck you and your dumbass Secon deck.
Did you get to play your super sweet Chase Magnamon X?
Nah, I refuse to put that into the deck unless I have 4.
You have 4 of them? Oh
yeah,
my god,
straight pussy. Yeah,
pussy.
Because I'm like, it doesn't mean anything running 1. I have to run 4.
That Imperial Chase gets slapped right into that fucking deck, baby. Imperial Chase, give me that fucking. I don't even give a shit. That's going right in there. I don't even like that card.
You know what it is?
I don't even like that card. I think that R looks stupid, but I'm ready to flex, baby.
You know what the problem is? It's because I pulled it. I think if like I had like bought it or whatever, I'd have been fine. But because I pulled it, I'm like, I just want you to sit on my desk.
Because I pulled it, it would be even better for me to play. I'd be like, I didn't spend money on this shit. It's going right.
No, I don't want it. I don't want anything to happen to it. I don't want it to get any sort of anything. I'm just like, I just want you to be pristine if I ever decide to get you graded. Yeah, but you know, shit happens. You dropped the cards by mistake. The fucking card was on the floor next to you. You remember that one?
Your egg? I don't even know how you got my fucking
egg. I was like, how did it even get next to you? So
Nah, I'm playing full send.
I'm a pussy for that. I refuse to play unless I have
How dare
four.
you not play
That's
your
how I
$1,000
justify-
card, you loser.
That's how I'm justifying it. Otherwise,
Loser.
Hey, yeah, when you get 4 of them, you should sell all of them for 4,000. See if someone bites.
yeah, right. I'd be like this. I'd be like, buy 3 get 1 free.
Bro, you could put the playset up and be like, this is the only time you'll ever be able to buy a full playset of this Magna Chase at once. 4K.
Your one-time chance only.
No, on real talk, the only reason that like I actually care to get them is because like I've liked other chases in our game, but like the Ghost Omni, it's not playable. The Alphamon,
Not playable.
it was somewhat playable for the time that it came out in, but now it's like, yeah, no, not playable. I don't even remember like what we've gotten recently. I just didn't care for any of them. And
I played the fuck out of my Magnamon chase. I was riffle shuffling that card, bro. You know how much I sold that card for?
Like,
it was so dumb. The O-Force. Oh my god.
Yeah, the O-Force, the Magnamon, and the Magnamon. I liked those, but I didn't like how dull the gold was. And Mike, I'll show you when you come up.
Yeah.
But like, I wish the gold on those cards looked like the fucking Magnamon.
I can already see
that would have made them
pictures.
worth more. Right.
Yeah, they already look better. I also have to say that there's like a weird divide. A lot of people don't like that chase, that Magnamon chase. I think it is one of the coolest alt arts.
It's so badass.
It looks like a fucking Gundam to me, bro.
Yeah.
Like that just looks like a fucking Gundam. Like that looks so fucking sick, dude.
Not only does it look like a Gundam, I know a lot of people, and I was one of them. I hated the way that it looked in the pictures and online. But when you look at this card IRL and you see how the light bounces off of it, like you can just tell that there was detail put into not just the artwork, but the actual making of the card, which is super important for Digimon because those gold rares that we had previously were shit. They were a dull, shitty, like it felt like a Family Dollar type of gold texture, you know? And this actually has detail on it.
And I think
most all arts are like that though. Like people think that like art they look trash online, but like you got to get it in person because they always got them like with like the foiling, the backgrounds in them make it whole 100% different. Like makes those arts so much better looking in my opinion.
My favorite is that they're different art too. Also, I do have to say, the BT 13 chase cards. I still think those are the worst chase cards we've ever gotten with the
the binary ones.
The burst, dude. I think they
those
look
are the
so
worst ones.
fucking stupid, bro. They look so bad.
Yeah.
All right. Next thing we need to talk about. Ban yellow.
Wow, you really just gonna
Yeah, we're banning yellow. That's my hate train this podcast. I feel like let's just get rid of the whole color.
Before we switch, I realize I haven't done poll results in Q&A in like a minute.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I definitely didn't do it last pod.
Last format, technically, yeah.
Yeah, I guess last format. So let's just go over it real quick. There's not too much to go over. It's probably why I didn't do it in the first place, but it is important to go over it nonetheless. And a preface, if you guys want to respond to these, I know Spotify has a character limit on what you can say. Feel free to pop into Discord. There's a discussion thread that gets put up for all of the podcasts, so you can talk about the podcast without fear that your comments will drop by the wayside in the main chat. But for that, on our East interview, which is one of our most successful podcasts to date. Shout out to the fucking G. I said, who are some other guests you'd like to hear us get on podcast? Sheeshmon. Sheeshmon. He said, Russ Morrow. I'd like to get Russ Morrow on. We'll see if we can get him. Guz said, I've heard a lot about this guy, DGU Mike. He seems pretty chill. I reckon you guys would like him.
I've heard some decent things. I did hear though he's kind of flaky though, you know. That's what I mean.
No, he likes to come and go, do his please. He doesn't like working hard, you know what I'm saying?
Good news though, good news. I will be gone for the next few pods again. Yes. I'm going out of the country with my girlfriend, so we're going on vacation.
Flaky, not hardworking, doesn't like putting commitment issues.
After that, I do plan on being on pod a lot more again. So there's good news for that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I won't be traveling as much. I think I'm just gonna. We'll see what happens. I've got some plans going on. I won't be traveling, hopefully, but hopefully be able to be on pod every Monday again.
Sorry. I asked them, what's your favorite aspect of the Digimon card game? Only 6 votes on this. 2 people said art, 2 people said mechanics, 1 said room for creativity, and 1 person said, I'm just another. I like every aspect of the card game, which is fair. I really do enjoy pretty much everything about Digimon. It's why it's my main game and will continue to be as such.
I'm surprised that no one said that their favorite part of the game isn't the memory gauge. That is like...
I feel like that's what a lot of people originally got into the game because of memory gauge.
I think that they didn't... A lot of people that are playing now might be newer players, but when I like... The memory gauge is like the coolest fucking... That's like the coolest way to play a card game when this game first came out.
I agree. When I saw that, like I was watching these guys back when I was playing Vanguard, I was like watching them play Digimon. They were like, yes, like I have to spend 3 memory to like play this. And I was like, you have to spend memory to play a card? That's the nerd. For me, I was like, that's so nerdy. That's so fucking cool because they're fucking digital monsters and you have to spend your memory, you know, your RAM, so to say. And then you have your security, your firewall that the other Digimon are attacking. And then you can digivolve them by paying. I was like, this is so fun. I was like, I know I always love Digimon, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. I definitely I think the memory gauge is just fucking sick. Although these days it has a lot less meaning than it did back then.
Yeah.
These days the fucking
Oh no, actually no, not entirely. Let me
introduce you to a deck called Fenry, bro.
Yeah, right.
Which is what about a deck called Mirage that just also disregards memory?
I'm not gonna disagree with you on that. I'm just saying like Fenry is you know what Bandai wants to do when it comes to these X antibody decks. You ever realize, but obviously
break them?
Yeah, obviously Fenry is the only like pure X antibody deck that we've had next to Alphamon. But you ever realize they all do the same stupid busted shit, which is just effectively the manipulation of time and space.
I think it's just OTK. I feel like any of the really good OTK decks have always done something stupid like that. Yeah. I mean, even when we got Wargrey X, like the reason you could really OTK more reliably with Wargrey X is that when you swung into it, it was buffed with a bunch of security attacks and you would gain all your memory back so you still had memory to Blitz Omni. Like, that was what was goated.
That's fair.
You know?
I agree.
Mirage just gains a million memory to keep its turn so it can just do things that it shouldn't be able to do. So stupid.
Bro, Gino said he took a Belphamon player. All right, guys, you heard that? A Belphamon player who had 3 cards in hand up to 8 in 1 turn. And I know from experience that that's true because I remember playing against Chung Man Chan and I was like, I've got 4 or 5 cards in hand. I'm good. He can't pop off. I didn't give him anything. And it's like he looked at that and he said, challenge accepted. Because all I know is at some point he was swinging a burst mode and bottom decking cards. All right.
I don't even know how we got here, but we did.
How many cards do you have in hand? 5. Haha. He said, I bet.
Yeah. I don't know.
Fuck you, buddy.
He's dumb.
It is kind of brutal.
Time for Mirage to get hit again.
I don't know if we're on that. I don't know if I'm on the hate train for that quite yet, but maybe we'll see.
I'm on the hate train.
Are we? Maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
I think my least favorite thing about any deck like Mirage, Fenry, Alphamon was really annoying when it was full power. Those are the 3 main decks that always.
It's anything that manipulates memory and makes it unfair.
I just can't stand the like sitting there waiting because you know you're gonna die, but you have to at least try and play it out because maybe they hit an option or something. So you just have to just wait there to hopefully have something happen. At least when War Grey OTK'd you, it was like 5 checks all at once, and it was like no bullshit.
no security checks happen, so you know you're dead.
You were like, all right, like, what's this?
The question becomes,
do you have the Blitz
do they
Omni?
have the Omnimon?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Do you have the Blitz
Do
Omni?
they have it?
I used to tell people, like, whenever I was getting War Grey OTK'd, I'd be like, do you have the Blitz Omni in hand? They'd show it to me. I'd be like, all right, next game, let's go. Let's wrap it up, buddy. Like, I got time for this.
Facts.
Like, if you got the Blitz, just flash it to me real quick, brother. But like Fenry, fucking Mirage, you're just like, all right, let's wait the fucking 10 minutes.
To be fair, I feel like it's harder. Like Fenry is definitely the worst of all OTK decks we've had, just because there's so much setup required that honestly sometimes they really just don't have it.
Is there, bro? Is there really setup? You fucking you swing a fucking hell Lugamon, fucking trash the cards in hand that you need into your trash, and then the next turn they just kill you with a fucking Luga. They just raise the Luga and add the IG to the source or AG.
Hey, listeners,
AG,
you
IG,
remember
whatever.
when I told you Mike was going to berate me for being a bad Fenry player? And that's why. Remember when I said that all those podcasts ago? This is the podcast. Today's the day.
You are the bad Fenry player.
Today's the day. Don't worry.
2 analog use.
In the comments.
Oh yeah, first off, that was the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. 2 analog use was crazy. And you know what makes it more frustrating? It's not because he knew he shouldn't play 4, because he did. He didn't want to play more because he didn't have the ult arts. You're just a fucking monster. Like, just fucking say it. Like, you literally decided to unoptimize your deck to be flossy. Like, what is the fuck even is that? Bro?
Hey, listen.
That's exactly what it was.
I'm listening.
What do you think about the competitive landscape of the Digimon card game? That was the question that I asked on the next podcast. And we only got one response, which was from Guz saying, I find it fun and engaging. There are some powerful decks out there that can put in the work. I find pilots are usually the determining factor of any competitive landscape, which is very true.
100%.
And then moving on to our definitive BT16 meta tier list. I asked, what decks do you think have a chance in this format that may be slept on? Guz said, I've seen some good moves with the new Sylphimon stuff. Will be interesting to see where that shakes out. Jay Stort says, I want to try Daruga, but make it purple base with Luga and Tamer and use the Luga egg to use with the Dex line effect, which I can see that potentially doing something. It's just difficult because you don't cross Digivolve yet outside of the Darugamon, the new one that we just got, which is purple black, because all the other Darugamons are black. So if you're using purple base, sure, the Dex Darugamon can Digivolve as well, but like you just get more consistent in the next set where you get the other Dex Darugamon as well as the new Balmon egg that is arguably better than the current Balmon egg to use, since that one lets you forcibly Digivolve from trash instead of having the trash card to Digivolve. Plus, obviously, just the Dex Dorugora line is better in that set. But I could see some shenanigans happening, but I don't think it'll happen with Darugamon this set.
Next set, they mainly, I think the optimum list is still just the black base, though, right?
It's weird. I just watched East. Shout out to East, the OG. I watched his video on the Dex Goramon deck profile, and he started with a black base, and he ended on a purple base with the Fenry engine, or well, the Lugamon engine, I should say, essentially. Because he said it was better. Like, he actually didn't like seeing Kosuke, which is fair because, you know, that's why I think Fenry is definitely the best of like all the SOC decks. Dorumon pulls the Kosuke. I believe it only pulls it from hand. And B, like you pull it for 1 turn immunity, which is nice, but at the same time, AG gives you so much more value because Lugamon will always pull that AG either from trash or from hand. And then you're always gaining memory off of it. And then you have the biggest thing was that you have 2 AGs because you have Cracker Fang and AG. Then, yeah. So it was just more consistent to see the Tamers to make the deck work. And that's why he said he runs the Lugamon engine with a Dorugoramon basically mid and top end.
Yeah.
But of course he has... Yeah, probably. I don't remember if I don't think he runs that though, to be honest. But I mean, I definitely would, because I think the scrambles are definitely really good. Especially for how the fuck you can sequence shit with Lugamon.
Pretty crazy.
But yeah, there's a lot of things that I think could do well. It's just a matter of like if people will commit to it. Remember, guys, I don't think enough people will remember this. We have 5 weeks of BT15 meta. Only 5 weeks.
16.
And BT16 meta, sorry. And out of those 5 weeks, we have 2 tournaments in those 5 weeks. One is coming up in a week and a half. The other one is in, I want to say, 3 weeks.
Nah, it's next weekend.
That's why I said
June 1st is next weekend.
That's why I said it. Oh, you mean this weekend? Next weekend?
Yeah.
Next weekend, motherfucker, right? No, yeah. So June 1st this weekend. So that's the first tournament of BT16. And then in, was it 1, 2? Yeah. So basically 3 weeks is the next and last tournament of BT16. So there is like no time. Everybody's it's 2 regionals. It's not even Ultimate Cups. Everybody's just going to be trying hard. You know, everybody who doesn't have their invites, who's trying to win Serial Omnis, they're going to play Numon. They're going to play Magnamon. They're going to play Vaccine Armors, you know, Mirage, even Imperial, even, what was the other deck? Tyrant. But at the end of the day, unfortunately, we just don't have enough time for this format to really develop. Because then we're going to head into EX6.
Yep.
We've got Ragnarlord. We've got Magnamon. We've got Angels. We've got 7 Great Demon Lords. We've got Alliance Bunnies. I don't recall what else is in that set, but that's like 5. That's already 5 new decks I just named. Diaboromon. That's 6 new / revitalized decks. Shakamon. Yeah, 7.
Yeah, I think
you can
7,
keep naming decks.
I think 7
but
Demon Lords is going to be the big takeaway from EX.
Yeah.
There's a minimum of 7 new decks that's coming out in 5 weeks, less than 5 weeks at this point. And then after that, we've got BT17, which is dropping like maybe I think it's a month after that, because EX6 is the 28th of June, I want to say. 21, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so EX6 is the 28th of June. BT17 is August 9th. So we get all of July and then another week. So basically another 5 weeks. That's how these metas are going to play out. So there's just not going to be time for like anything to happen. That's why I think the market's going to be really funky, really funky. Not just for this set, but for EX6, especially because EX6 has more SPs. So people are going to be opening sets like myself to pull SPs. Granted, not EX6 for me. I only care to get my Lilith stuff. And that's pretty much it. I don't really care for any of those SPs that are coming out. Which was what I was trying to say about the Magna SP. I don't even care for anything in EX6 or BT17. The Crimson mode is nice, but I'm not going to gun for that. EX7, however, that BL Star.
That BL Star's sick.
It's not just, it's every art. Her regular art, her alternate art, and her SP are all ridiculous. So that's like the next set that I'm like gunning for getting SPs for. And I honestly kind of shudder to know how much those cards are going to cost. Because I feel like BL Star is just going to command a fuck
2,000 for the SP.
I need that Paladin mode SP from BT17. That card is crazy looking.
All of them are. I like the way that their arts are very like in tune. I mean, Taka Mikazuchi, like if y'all thought like
crazy,
if y'all didn't like Magna X,
that card
you're gonna hate Taka Mikazuchi.
That card is
because
shiny.
that card is insanely
looking.
Flash
bomb in your face. Hey, yo, that sounded weird.
More so.
Yo, pause.
That's what I'm saying.
But,
that sounded weird. Yeah.
To touch on Mike's topic that he wanted to talk about, our last poll result was, which deck do you think would be the true king of the English BT16 format? I said Vaccine Armors, Magnamon Armors, Numemon, Mirage, which is our meta-defining decks, or other. We've got 10 votes. One person said Numemon. 4 people said Vaccine Armors, and 5 people said Magnamon Armors, which is interesting. So I know Vaccine Armors is obviously a very high roll deck because you're playing 8 Rapidmons who all cost 4 to Digivolve, and you're basically banking on seeing Patamon to pull those out of security and Digivolve for free, and then kick off your massive ass memory gain to then facilitate going into a Magna X or a Rapid X later. I think that deck does enough to come out on top, especially against the likes of what's it called? Words are hard.
Numa.
Not just Numa. Well, I think it does well into Numa, but against Vmon armors, if you're playing the blue base like I am, because you have your aces, and you also have, so you have aces, you have the Rapidmon blocker that's gonna neg, and you also, on having the aces, you have Anjumon Ace, which is an end of opponent's turn DP neg. So all of those are like really big factors because so you have all this blocking. You're really the true, like, you're a big ass defensive wall, and you definitely make it harder for V armors to really take advantage of like swinging and hitting security. You know, like, sometimes you can get away with it on other decks, but when it comes to Vaccine Armors, I just feel like they have more outs generally. They have better answers. The biggest caveat being that, like, yes, they can be very high roll, but that just feels like a high roll that's like worth paying off for at the end of the day, you know? Magnamon, Dan, you played against it. So how do you feel about Magnamon Vmon Armors as a deck?
It's basic as AF. Like, I don't even know why it's tier 1. This is like Janks level type of deck. Impossible. Let me stop. It's pretty good. It's really good. Obviously a tier 1 deck. Magnamon X is such a strong boss monster. Boss master.
I
I was about to say, yeah, I don't know why. Like, what happened there? The words was not wording there. But I don't think it's like overly like too crazy to me. Like, honestly, I don't think it was like, again, maybe just because I'm playing Tyrant, but like it doesn't feel that like that oppressive to me. Like, it's not like, I get it. You swing, you know, actually not even when Digivolve and you gain the immunity effect and you're gonna be 15k, great. You try to take out a security stack from them on your turn, they're gonna get buffed again. But they lose all that buff. So like if you have a way to like deal with it on the following turn, maybe like a effect that lingers, that can work. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's like too crazy in that sense. I think if you know how to play around and you be smart with your plays and not overcommit, I don't think you can't overcommit unless you're able to like get a stack out ASAP before they can. Like, I think that's the only way you can like overcommit and be okay. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you had to play it out, I think, smart, and I think that's a problem. To me, it's like Xmon all over again, in the sense of like back then, you can't just like run in guns blazing and do what you think you're supposed to do because that's how you think Digimon play. No, you gotta like think about your plays a little bit more. So I think that's gonna be like a learning curve for people. I think that's gonna be actually the curve to see who are the better players per se. Especially in a regional style, you know, you versing 8 rounds, you're gonna verse Magna maybe at least 3 to 4 of them, maybe. Honestly, the way it's looking like, that's looking like the deck that everybody wants to play and everybody wants to, if they want to play competitively. And so you gotta figure out your deck and how you can beat it, basically. To me, that card is not the issue. The card is the issue. I conceded to Barney said is a Heaven's Judgment, being able to just clear board like it's no tomorrow, and you're just over here like, all right, I can't do anything now because I can't deal with Magna X for 2 turns straight. Because you're gonna have to take a turn to rebuild, and then you're gonna have to take another turn after that to raise, and then, you know, and that Magna X is probably already chilling with all the protection it can have, and like even if you miss with protection, you might be able to get it back, type of thing. I think I wouldn't be mad if they hit the options, not the deck itself. If you hit cards like Heaven's Judgment, potentially, and this is going to be a little crazy, Blinding Ray to slow down them proccing their own protection. I think that's something I could see going, and you don't have to worry about affecting the deck. The deck will still do what it does, but not as effectively, if that makes sense.
Mike, you haven't played against Magna X, have you?
Nah, not in my playtesting yet.
What are your thoughts on the card?
Magna X itself?
Yeah.
I feel like Magna X itself is, I mean, obviously it's a strong card. I feel like, but the card itself is not the issue. It's like Dan was saying, the option cards that go along with it. I think that Emissary is just absolutely the most stupid thing in the world. I think that what happened is with Bandai is you take yellow as a color, and it has always, I feel like, had some of the best option cards in the game. It's always just the way that yellow works in and of itself has always just been unique to its own color. Like if you think about every other color in the game, right? Black has like de-digivolve effects. Red always had like deletion effects, whatever. Blue and green had like suspend and bounce effects always, I feel like. Yellow always has the DP neg. And I feel like when you combine how strong DP neg is, because not a lot of cards get through DP neg. There's like very rare cases in the game of cards that get through DP neg. So you take cards like Heaven's Judgment, which with Magna X can minus 24k to an entire board, which is, and the memory that those decks can gain makes Heaven's Judgment not even really matter. Like, oh, I have to pay this option for 7. Who cares? You already have a ton of memory probably. Emissary, which is just ridiculous, where you just search your security stack for 1 and then digivolve into a vaccine card without paying the cost, mind you. That's insane. I mean, like what going in, like Magna X costs 5, right? Going into a Digimon that costs 5 to digivolve for 1 instead. Like that makes a card
basically
broken.
like it's like free 4 memory, basically. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a refund
like,
of 4, like I think what East will call it.
And you have to think like you're it's basically a search top 5 of your deck and digivolve for 1. Mm-hmm. That's what you're doing.
It's not just that, right? And here's the problem with yellow as a color. The problem is because what some people will say is, well, sometimes you won't have it in security. Yeah, that's true.
Until you put it there.
I was just about to say, it doesn't mean you can't put it there, because you have a TK that says add top card of security to your hand, put vaccine at the bottom of security.
Yep.
So even if you whiff on the first effect, like the first digivolve for whatever reason, if you didn't get the TK set up that you play at 4, you'll get it in there eventually. Mm-hmm. And then once you do that effect, it snowballs, because you go Patamon into Rapidmon for free, and then you rig the Magna X into security, and then you use Awakening, or not Awakening, you would go into like your Ace, and then you can use Emissary to go into the Magna X from security, or alternatively, because you went into the Rapidmon, like I said, you just use Awakening if you play that to go from Rapidmon into Magna X for 3.
Yeah.
And you just went to the Rapidmon for free.
Like I said, Magna X itself, I think that it having protection, it doing what it does, like that's fine. Like Magna X is not the only card in this game that has protection. There are multiple. You know what I mean? It's the combination of everything else, plus it being 3 colors. I know that we're moving into this 3-color Digimon format game now, where a lot of decks are going to have 3 colors now. But the fact that the colors that it has access to are yellow, that becomes a problem because of Heaven's Judgment itself. Like Magna X being on the board and you having Heaven's Judgment just means you have a board wipe live at all times in your hand.
Oh my fucking goodness,
and not a single kill spell, like a straight up board wipe. You're wiping the board. I
had so many moments where I was like, damn, if only I had Heavens in hand right now, this board would be nuked. Because that's just really how it went. Let me tell you guys something. DP reduction has always been an issue in Bandai games. That's why it's not an issue in One Piece. Anybody who plays One Piece would be like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's because for some reason in One Piece, you can go fucking negative. You can have like negative 10,000.
Wow.
But in Dragon Ball, when you battle reduce, power reduce, whatever it's called, to 0, that card is gone. I'll tell you guys about a card. It's called Omega Shenron, Unfeeling Retribution. It was from the very first set of the new block of Dragon Ball, which was, I want to say, about a year and a half ago at this point. This deck is now hit. The leader is banned. The card, the big bad, the SR for the deck said, choose up to 1 battle card and it gets minus 3,000 power for the turn for each of your Z energy, which Omega Shenron, if any of you know Dragon Ball lore, you collect all 7 of the dark or the cracked Dragon Balls. So you put those cracked Dragon Balls in your Z energy. That's neg 21 there. Or did I do the math right? No. 7. Yeah. Neg 21 there.
Yeah.
21,000.
21. Yep.
Neg 21,000. Additionally, if your leader is a Z leader, you choose a battle card and it gets minus 30,000 power for the turn. And this activates battle without paying any effect. This card also comes down for 2 once you awaken your leader. So what this means in Dragon Ball terms, for those of you who are unaware, you can get this, you can search through your deck, you can get all your cracked Dragon Balls in your Z energy by turn 2 or 3, awaken, drop this card, and just fucking wipe your opponent's shit off the board every turn. Just keep board wiping. Because once you hit 0, you're done. That's it. Out of here. And that's been in that deck is banned. Red Gogeta is banned because they also did DP negging. And here we are in Digimon, where DP negging continues to be an issue. It never stopped being an issue. Lord Knight was running rampant back in BT5. And golly, I remember getting fucking board wiped off of Lord Knight. Play Digimon, then I'll play another Digimon, then I'll play Starmon. Then I'll play Spiral Masquerade.
Spiral Masquerade, yeah.
And it's just like, yeah. And now you don't have to do all that. That's all you need is the Magna X and the Heaven's Judgment, and I'll neg 24.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I'll just get rid of your board. Or against Tyrant, I'll get rid of the Tyrant, which you just spent 6 to Digivolve into, or 5, or 4, however you might reduce the cost.
Or 2.
And or 2, you know, if you go that way, if it gets to that point, or free. And then I'll just I'll get rid of the Tyrant. And then, you dropped an Ace? I'll try to get rid of that too so I can get some memory refund here. Like,
the only saving grace I feel like for Heavens, personally, is the fact that how it works is they get they get minus 6k DP for the turn, and then
in increments. Yeah. So like you can't delete 7Ks without putting 2 instances of it on it.
Exactly.
Which is fair.
That's nice. But also the card's fucking bullshit.
I mean, I played it against Dan. He had, I don't know what his board was, but he had 3 Digimon that was like fairly high DP. Like it wasn't anything that was mega level, but it was like a 8K, like a 5 or 6K, and then something else. But I had 4 instances of 6K to inflict.
Yeah, because
I looked at that board and I was
white
like,
on board too. Yeah, white color on board. So you got another 6K.
I don't run any Ukomon. No, I don't run any Ukomon.
No, you had Digimon Emperor.
No, it only counts for Digimon. That's in play.
Oh,
you don't count the you don't count the tamer.
Yeah, you don't count the tamer.
The biggest thing would actually be the Vmon, which gives me red. But I don't think I had the Vmon. But maybe I did. I don't know. I looked at his board and I was like, if I swing, I'm gonna get aced, and then he might be bigger than I am. So I'm not gonna take that chance. I don't need protection if I just wipe his board. So I'll just wipe his board. And I played it. I put him to 5, and I was like, okay. I've got a Magna here, which is unprotected, but you have no board and you have nothing set up in raising. And yeah, that was game 1. That was pretty much he literally couldn't do anything. Same thing happened against Gino. Gino had like some stuff chilling out, and I was like, Heaven's Judgment. And I mean, he did float out a Gomamon, which was big in terms of like, damn, like this Gomamon will give him value, but like still, I was like, board wipe.
Yeah.
You know,
That'll do it.
I think I don't, you know, I know a lot of people have their opinions on it. I just want to say, you know, you guys are gonna watch my deck profile. You're gonna be like, Varney, you're a liar. Heavens isn't busted because you don't run it at 4. And I'll tell you, yeah, I mean, I might not run it at 4. That's just because, you know, I'm trying to play against the mirror. But I can very quickly put that card up to 4. Not an issue, because I damn sure did not hate seeing that card. Every time I saw it, I was like, I have a Magnamon X on board. Heavens, you know?
Are you running it at 2 right now?
Yeah, 2. 2 of that, and then 3 of my black removal options.
I feel like 2 is the good number.
I'll probably go up to 3 just to be ignorant. 4 if I'm trying to like prove a point, but I'm good with 2 for now because I really do like Trident Arm, but that's neither here nor there.
So my issue with Heavens, if it ever did just get hit, I don't think it's an option card.
It becomes a Saki one of.
I don't think it should get 1 at all. I think it needs to be
you.
Thank you. I told Dan this, but I've hopped in the Dan hate train. HPD needs to go 0. I think option cards shouldn't be at 1 because there's just no point. If you put an option card like that to 1, then that's what I agree with you. I think Ice Wall is like the only card that's fine at 1 because the issue when it was at 4 was that you could chain multiple Ice Walls together.
Yep.
Being at 1 is like it doesn't in security. It's a fucking hammer spark. Who cares? And on the field, you just lose 2 memory when you attack. Like there are much worse problems in Digimon at this point than Ice Wall.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. But
no,
I think
that is exactly why I said Heavens needs to be banned, because it can't be restricted, because then it becomes the shittiest, sackiest fucking one, even potentially worse than HPD. Like, it's just like, oh, I'm playing against Magna. I hope they don't have the Heaven's Judgment. They drop the fucking Heaven's Judgment. And then you're like, fuck you, you know?
I think the only thing that might save anything from Magna getting hit is that our meta is so short. So our BT16 meta is really short. I don't think anything is going to get hit because our meta, like I said, meta is just really short. We had Rain to EX6, I think, and then in what August?
It's basically like month after month, yeah.
August we hit like right into BT17, I think, in August. No. Yeah,
BT17 in August, and then
September is started next.
Later. A few weeks later is the starter X, and then EX7 is September as well.
Yeah, so I think because our metas are so short, cards won't get hit. But if there were cards that didn't get hit, it'd
I think the only way they'll hit something is because that deck is still relevant in JP, which then coincides with it getting hit. But with us, you know, that's the only way. Magna is still relevant.
I'm not saying it's not. It is still relevant. But there are
ancient guru.
Right. There are other decks that are relevant as well, which is more than you can save than some other formats, right? Like they didn't hit Shine because Shine was the problem. They said they hit Geogray because of Vaccine, which leads me to believe that if they're gonna fucking hit something, they're not gonna hit Magnamon because it's Magnamon. They're gonna hit something in Vaccine because here's Vaccine once again abusing more stuff, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
The
problem with yellow vaccines. The problem with yellow vaccine, like the generic stuff that of yellow vaccine, is just all generic and it all works so well together that it's like, all right, I'll abuse the Geogreymon to get my TK, and then that TK will plus me more memory, and you know shenanigans will happen. You know what I'm saying? That's the state where like. They took out the Geogray from Massimon, right? Basically, because Geogray grabbed the Mirai effect, whatever, blah, 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 and you set up your plays. And that's why Geogray was so generically good. Yellow Vaccine is just so generically good because everything in yellow is basically yellow vaccine. Like, there's nothing that's like a virus. There's no viruses in vaccine. It's some data Digimon, like Centaurimon. But like outside of that, there's no real data type Digimon in it. It's just really all yellow vaccine, literally. So like you just pick your slew of cards. It's like, this is generic. This works. We'll throw it in there.
Yeah. I think the other issue is really it's like if Digimon was a one color, like if cards were only one color still, I wouldn't be talking about this anymore. It's just the support is too generic. It's just too like it's just too generic. It doesn't.
I actually think that's like a good thing that like support is generic.
No, it is.
Just,
it
depends.
It isn't because then you get issues like
this.
When support is too generic, you get issues where you start having engines. Like if you've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, bro, you know about like Garnet engine, bro. Like you know about like all these different random engines that could happen from one fucking deck, and the decks that utilize those engines are always better than the fucking deck that the support was supposed to come in for.
Yeah.
Yes, bro. Oh my, brilliant fusion.
Crack hard. I don't think though like Patamon needs to necessarily get hit. I do think like the options that are used like Emissary should be touched up, or like the obviously Judgment, or even arguably Blinding Ray, stuff like that. I don't think like the actual Digimon itself currently, until like something is busted as all hell breaks loose or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know like what
all
yet,
right.
but
so as a somewhat former yellow player, somewhat former. I know,
what deck
Mike.
are you playing?
still
What
playing
deck did
yellow.
you just
You're
win
just playing
locals
top.
with, bro? Yeah.
Magnamon X, that's a yellow deck.
I bindered my entire yellow vaccine deck and I almost sold it until Dan talked me off the cliff.
No. What deck did you just win locals with, bro?
Not yellow vaccine armors.
No, but what was the deck again?
It wasn't vaccine armors.
What was the deck again?
Magnamon.
It was not vaccine
How many yellow
armors, which is
cards
the
are you
deck that we're
running in
talking about.
Magnamon right now?
I'm just saying it's not vaccine armors, which is the deck that we're talking about right now.
All low fours are yellow,
So,
and then all
Wrong. One of them are black and blue.
Yeah, one of them is
Get
black.
your facts straight, sir.
Oh my god! Yeah, sure.
No, but seriously, I acknowledge that Patamon presents a very big issue to the card game. What it presents is exactly as Mike said. Everything that says vaccine means, can I play this card with Patamon? No, not yellow.
Exactly.
Can I play this card with Patamon? Yes. Ooh. Let's see what we can brew up.
I think it states it has to be yellow vaccine, right? It has to stay like it's a yellow vaccine Digimon.
Yes, it does have to be a yellow vaccine, but I mean, granted, we're talking about the confines of being a yellow deck, right? So anything that is a yellow card that is vaccine traded is automatically said, can I use Patamon with this? Yes. All right, then we're off to the races, which on the one hand, I think that's a really good thing. I like having these sorts of engines, especially in Digimon, because it's nice being able to intermingle. But sometimes in the case of stuff that was purposely meant to not be, abused like this, Rapidmons, for example.
I just don't understand why they have such limited design space with yellow, because it feels like every time they touch yellow or give it a deck, it just becomes the only deck that yellow can ever use. Yellow hybrid use the yellow hybrid engine.
I say exactly the same thing.
Like I just don't like, why can't they just make different, like I don't understand why it always is this way with yellow. They're like okay, it's been 6 sets since we've made yellow good. Let's just make it broken again. What the fuck? Like they can't just give it normal decks here and there? Like I don't understand.
Hey, Central Mon is a normal and fear deck.
It's a solid deck though. I think it will be.
I think
that card
has a couple tops already.
I was about to say, I don't know if it's like winning consistently, but that deck is like 1 or 2 cards away from just being busted, I think. Just with like the effects it has.
EX7 isn't out yet for Japan. So it's got, I think, 1 or 2 tops just from the starter deck. Just from the starter deck, according to Digimon Meta. So let's see what EX7 brings. I think like one of the biggest things, Mike, is like, because Digimon is like, I feel like it's different because it's a resource game and they can't, obviously, we know that they can't plan for like every interaction. But I think one big thing we see, like with the hybrids in BT 18 that are coming out, they have very specific requirements, which are big changes from what they were in BT7, right?
BT7. Yeah.
Very big changes from what they were in BT7, because now these cards read like Digivolve 3 from a purple or red Tamer, or Digivolve 2 from a Takuya Kanbara. So like, which now they're like, you know what, like, right, it's like let's try to lock it in so that we can make sure you guys are playing it in kind of the way that we intend for it to be played. But if you want to do it in these other decks, you can. We're just going to make you pay a little bit more. In the case of Rapidmons, those cards are easy to fix when it's like, don't digivolve from yellow. You know, I think I want to say one of the Magnamon cards don't digivolve from its own color. Let's check. BT8 digivolves from yellow and blue. BT13 only digivolves from a yellow, but it digivolves 3 from a Vmon. And the starter deck digivolves from black and blue, so not yellow. And like, I feel like as time goes on, like they'll play around with like Digi-evolution requirements and they'll probably lock things in more. But like, I feel like we're going through like a growing pains, so to say, as they're learning how to balance and not make things so generically easily abusable. And what that means is that we'll probably end up seeing something like maybe not a Patamon hit, but another yellow vaccine hit at some point, just because they're like, yeah, well.
All I'm saying is, when's the last time black got a good deck?
What color is black? I don't know. That it doesn't exist in the Digimon card game, except if your name is Lychee and you play Alphamon.
Yeah, but like that's the old deck. That's BT9.
Hey, it's called like War Greymon was black.
Hey, to be fair, Diaboromon.
Black War Greymon. Yeah, like forever ago.
No, I'm talking about next set. I'm talking about next set Diaboromon.
I think it's an okay deck. I don't think that it's like I don't think it's there just yet.
No, that's what BT17 is for.
Yeah,
when it gets the other wave of support.
I feel like even in BT17, it's still just an okay deck compared to the rest of the fucking nonsense that comes out.
Hey, don't let me cope. Stop. Go away. I want to win with my win con. I want to win with my win con. All right.
Let me go.
No, you're not wrong.
Let me cope to be a tier 1 deck.
Diaboromon is really good, but everything else is
just better.
Really
it's just better, I think.
Yeah,
good.
Issue. I don't know. I mean, I get it. So like, I think that the issue is that like we get really locked into, or at least Bandai gets really locked into like certain colors doing certain things. Yes, but
I feel like they go about like colorways. It's like, all right, we're gonna have a certain like set of sets where like black was busted, right? You got like Alphamon up to like black or Greymon was considered like, busted stuff, even though like that's like half black, half red. But like, and then you go in these like other eras, like, oh, we have a time from like BT13 to 14, like yellow is kind of busted. Shine Greymon, you got the Patamons that pop up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they go through these weird phases, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. I can't, it's hard to theorize on like what might be hit on a ban list, not because like, it's hard to predict, but just because it doesn't feel like anything actually needs to be hit right now at this very exact moment.
Yeah, I'm with you.
After the next 2 tournaments, maybe we can revisit that.
But even nothing will, like, because like I said, it's only 2 tournaments. They're not going to hit anything that's going to be like, oh, this format is basically done. What's the point of hitting anything? Unless they feel whatever's going on in JP is that bad, then they'll touch something up.
The only way I could see anything getting hit is if these tournaments happen and all 16 decks are yellow vaccine and Magnamon.
Right, exactly.
And that won't happen. I mean, I could see that like 70% of these decks playing Magnamon X though, and that's not even a joke. I do kind of feel like, but that's split, like me saying 70% of the decks playing Magnamon X, that's technically split between 2 decks. That's like split between yellow vaccine and then Magnamon.
Right.
But I could see 70% of the decks playing Magnamon X. I feel like that's actually a pretty fair number, all things considered.
And
we'll see what happens, but I feel like that's actually pretty possible. And does that make it a tier 0 format? I don't know, because it's split between 2 decks still. It's not 1 deck.
I feel like, weren't there tier 0 formats in Yu-Gi-Oh with 2 decks?
No, that's not tier 0. You don't count that as tier 0. It has to be 1 dominant deck.
Spell books and what was that shit?
Dragon Rulers?
Yeah, spell books and dragon rulers, right? That was kind of like, I'm just saying that happened. That was literally like
That did happen.
50% of the decks were one, 50% of the decks were the other.
But those were two separate decks,
But those
right?
are completely different decks.
We're talking about two decks that are
pretty
the same, but
similar.
pretty similar.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So,
I don't think it's gonna be 70% of the tops though. Like I really don't.
don't think so?
Because Numon is such a thing. Numon will be.
I know, but I'm not even like I think that like so like let's say 16 decks top, right? Or yeah, we'll say we'll do top 16.
If you're gonna say half is gonna be anything with Magna relevant, I could see that. But like I
That's
don't
what I'm
think it
saying.
will be like
and
70%.
I think the others could be split between you could say the others get in there. Numamon gets in there. Mirage might get in there. Maybe even like a Tyrant or Imperial at one, or like one Tyrant,
So,
one Imperial, whatever.
one
But I
point
think the
that I
rest
made
might be
earlier
like that.
was that I said I don't think a lot of I don't know, but I don't think a lot of players will. Let me put it this way: what I'm trying to say, the people who are playing blue right now are probably still going to keep playing blue. We've had a lot
100%.
of blue players, and with that in mind, like I just feel like there will be a fair amount of people playing vaccine, but at the same time, the blue players are still going to be playing Mirage, and I feel like those players, like you're going to see like a lot of that in the top. So I'm very interested to see like how the tournaments turn out and how these players distribute themselves.
I wouldn't even take the two tournaments we have in June at face value at all, because people are just going to be playing what they want to play that's new and fun right now, I think. Like for example, our boy Cliff, he's going to be playing Imperial. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's in these regionals at all, but he's like, oh, I'm going to play Imperial for a while because I want to play something new and fun. I think a lot of people are just going to play decks that they think are fun. If the format was longer, I think we would see a shift to more
but
like
the
yellow
top-
vaccine, yellow.
You still have
all that
invites
stuff.
being given out, and the top
Yeah.
8 get their serial omnis. So you do still have the people searching for invites and omnis, like myself, who are like,
Still a chance though.
what am I playing? Numamon
There's
or Magnamon?
Right, but there's also a slight chance that for yellow vaccine, like the yellow vaccine armors, might see less play just because of how expensive that deck is too. So there's a chance of that
It's
happening
possible
as well.
Yeah.
I'm
sure.
with you, but I also think that maybe another reason we didn't get to talk about. We're like at an hour and a half.
I know.
So we didn't get to hit everything I wanted to talk about, but I think something to keep in mind too on why prices might be so fucking inflated right now is because people are buying these cards because they want to play them right fucking now. They're like, I've waited so long for armor support. I want these cards.
Yeah.
Right now. I've waited so long for Rapidmon support. I want these cards right now. Like, those are the people that are probably playing in these regionals. So like, I want to fucking play these cards right fucking now in this regional that's coming up while it's still meta relevant.
Hey, our audience, I want to let you guys know something. All right. I just want to put this out there because I don't think enough people know this. If you guys didn't know, EU has their own TCG player. It's called Card Market. And if you go on Card Market right now, at this very moment, as I am looking this card up, the base rarity, the base rarity of
EU
Magna
players gotta be
X-
tight at you, dog.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying the base rarity is 45 euros. Now, obviously, you have to factor in like shipping, and they have their tax is called VAT. So, like EU players probably end up paying anywhere from like 50-ish, like let's say about 50-ish euros, right? Which into USD roughly translates to like 53-ish US dollars. A Magnamon X over here right now cost 70, let's say 73, no, a little bit more like 77 with tax. You are paying $27 more than EU is paying for the cards right now. And for what? Like, I keep telling people the prices are going to drop. There is no world that we live in where the prices stay this high. If EU has the prices at this point without having the set at their disposal, I don't even know how much of EU doesn't have the set, but Asmodee, their main Digimon distributor, they got saddled with like a lot of debt, and they're going through like a lot of like money and bankruptcy problems relating to like other companies, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. The TLDR is the set was actually delayed in EU until sometime in June. So they're not even on the official release schedule. And they've
Is
got
that late? I
these
didn't know that.
prices. Yeah, and they've got prices that reflect what they should be in the US right now. So unless you really, really want to play these cards right now, you have to ask yourself, what is it worth? Is it worth me playing these cards right now at this very moment? Or can I wait? Because I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for me playing in the regional this coming weekend, my Magna X's that I currently have, well, Dan would have had them because we pulled them from our case, so I'm effectively borrowing them. But mines that I pulled from my case, I sold those bitches. I sold those and I sold my Rapid X's. And I made back a good chunk of money for what I paid for my case. Because it's just insane. Because that's what people are paying. I don't know what it is. I know Mike is the type of person who will never hold on to a piece of cardboard if it will make him some money.
You're damn fucking right, bro. You are absolutely correct. Fuck that shit. Get that out of here. I got the only cardboard I ever hold on to is Imperial stuff. And even then, I actually recently I started selling some of my Imperial alts because I just have so much, bro.
It's also like, am I gonna play this? Is this card ever gonna see play, you know?
I mean, wait 1 sec.
Oh no, he's opening the binder.
I have like 4 pages in my binder dedicated to Imperial.
The Imperial copist out here.
Flip there. It's just Imperial alt arts I'll never use. I was like, let me sell some of these because they're like up in price right now. And I'm like, oh, let me get rid of these because I have play sets and then I have extras. I was talking to Dan and I said in chat, I was like, I don't know where all these extra alt arts came from. And I'm almost positive it's because I used to get high and lose cards and then fucking buy extras. I don't have that issue anymore, guys. We're good.
Yeah, he's a clean, sober man.
I found 3 Death X's. I don't know where they came from. I found them though. Sold those bitches too.
I know, so we'll talk about this last topic before we wrap it up, but I know one of the biggest things relating also to high prices stems from potential fallout of RB1. This was something that Mike brought up. So the biggest thing about Digimon in the US, I don't know about other countries, other regions, but for the US specifically, orders basically have to be placed 6 months in advance because that's just how it fucking works over here, unfortunately. So let's look at some perspectives, right? BT16, the orders for it had to be in by November 16th of last year. It just released last weekend.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, that's 6 months in advance. And I know for me personally, I love Digimon. I don't commit to that. Like, what you're telling me is like, if I want 2 cases like I want, I gotta commit like $1,600 to something for 5 months from now.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm like, well, that's $1,600 that I will deal with at that point in time. I'd rather, save or sell shit at that point in time rather than spend $1,600 right now. Like, I might not like the game in 6 months. Like, I hate to say it, I love Digimon, but I could be like, fuck, I pre-ordered these 2 cases and now I'm on the hook for 2 cases that I definitely don't want because life circumstances or some shit, right? Now, RB1 orders were due in for that in April of 2023, and that released in September of 2023, which means stores had about a month and a half to place their BT16 pre-orders. So there's actually like a lot to discuss here. So we're not going to talk about it too much. We're just going to touch on the fact that stores got shorted. That's a fact. There are 3 main distributors that I know of in the US, which is Alliance, Southern Hobby, and GTS. There are others, but those are the 3 main ones that I know of. And I believe like GTS fulfilled all of their orders, but Alliance shorted people and potentially Southern Hobby as well. And, obviously Bandai, once they print the set, that's it. It's not like they're going to reprint the set. So, the question is, did the distros, what happened? I don't know. Did they not get enough product? Did stores want to order more and then they oversold? Like, why are the distros shorting stores? That's not a Bandai problem. Bandai printed whatever the distros told them to print. So what are the distros doing? How did the distros fuck up? Because that's a
yeah.
You know,
That's a different conversation right there.
I watched this show called Power, right? You guys ever watch Power?
Yeah.
You know, when Ghost and Tommy said, when Ghost and Tommy said, "Hey, yo, we need so and so," I'm not gonna say exactly what they needed, but when they said we need so and so, you know, their people, their distro went to.
Not you comparing drug sales to fucking Digimon cards. Bro.
Right.
This
That's what I'm
is
saying.
what podcast
Where
am
we
I on right now?
Where we going? Oh my god!
Holy shit! Someone
When
put up the
Ghost and
picture of me with the fucking bag of fucking. Can we edit that in? Just the fucking.
Listen, when Ghost and Tommy said to their distro, "Yo, we need more product," their distro went to their higher ups and said, "This is what is needed," and they either got told yes or no. But most times they were told yes. So when Ghost and Tommy get their product, and they're now a distro. If they don't have, if stuff goes missing from their product, who is to blame? Somewhere in that distribution chain, either their distro or themselves being the distro. So in this case of Digimon, if stores are getting shorted, where the fuck is the product?
Took a little bit, but we got back full circle, right?
If stores are getting shorted, where the fuck is the product? It's not just like, well, this set was over ordered. They were due in 6 months ago. Where the fuck is my product?
Oh man, I don't know.
The distros taking the product for themselves, bro. They're cracking those cases. They want them SPs.
Hey, you seen those people with the pallets and just walking away with magic pallets? You know what I'm saying? They probably do that with Digimon too.
You're not wrong. Like, that's entirely possible. They're like, maybe they sold it on the side, or like, yeah, they oversold
black
to
market
stores.
is real, guys. How do you think Varney's been getting those SPs, bro? He's got it in.
Right.
Varney's out here talking about, oh, yeah, the dish, something's up with the dish show. I don't know. Yeah, Varney has the in. Hit him up. He's got his SPs.
Let me say, I'm no Omari Hardwick, but like, you know.
All right, we're done. All right, end the pod. We're fucking next. Goodbye. Wrap it before you tap it.
Yo, listen, if you guys never watched Power, that's a great show.
Oh my God.
You should watch it up until maybe like season 3 or so, season 3 or 4. But great show.
Yeah, you should watch The Sopranos. You should watch Mad Men. You should watch Breaking Bad's great if you want to learn about how meth is distributed. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Let's just wrap it up there. TLDR of this podcast for me. My parting words to y'all. If you don't, honest to God, there are 5 weeks until EX6. If you don't care, if it doesn't matter to you to play these cards absolutely right now at this very fucking moment, please just wait. The prices will drop. They won't hold. I'm not saying the market won't be like very volatile, but how much is it worth it to you to play these cards right now? That's what you have to ask yourself. That's my parting words to you. What about you guys?
Wrap it before you tap it, and probably don't buy Magnamon X alt arts at $150 a piece. That seems like a bad investment.
I'm with Mike on that.
Also, 110%. Don't buy 4 Chase Magnamon X's.
I am not with Mike on that. 0%.
Wow. The difference of like money you're spending right there. Jesus. My God. Man said, don't spend 150, but spend 600.
600 yeah, whatever. On crack.
Oh my God.
Also, parting words, send me your Imperial chases, your fighter mode days, just for free. Just send them to my way.
Just for free.
Just for funsies.
Oh, we're doing like a pyramid scheme out here. Yeah, you profit off it. Like
you send me your Imperial chase cards. I will.
And you'll make $500.
Yeah, I'll double. You guys ever play RuneScape? I'll trim your armor. Send me. You guys ever play RuneScape? I'm trimming armor right now.
RuneScape.
Oh my god.
Meet me in the wildy with your full inventory of Imperial chases.
Oh my god, that's wild.
I have a
last words from me. Learn your matchups. Learn how to defeat Magna with your deck. If you can't defeat Magna, probably don't play that deck in regionals.
Fucking facts.
I also want to say, like, I'm sorry for you guys who have to play against Magnamon at locals. I'm not one of those players. I only play my like super meta decks when I'm trying hard. Otherwise, I'm like jank. I jank every week. But those of you who unfortunately have to sit through Magnamon at locals, just sit out, like Dan said, figure out how to kick its ass. Because trust me, just like how I beat Secon and I was like, haha, fuck you. You're going to get that. You're going to beat Magnamon. You're going to be like, haha, fuck you, buddy. Anyways, that is it.
No. If you're playing against Magnamon at your locals all the time, go full Weevil on that motherfucker. Take his fucking deck and throw it over the...
Take the forums, throw it out the ocean.
Yeah, throw it right into the fucking ocean. Fuck that
guy. Anyways, that is it for today's episode of DigiPod, the digital podcast. So until we talk to you guys next time, peace out.
Peace.
Catch you on the next one.